This vlog is just me essentially trying to get out of my summer existential crisis ridden productivity slump with good food, namesake to-do lists, and emotional books, and a bunch of other stuff.
I started off the morning with some good music and a good mug of tea, and I got to bullet journaling because I think it just sets me off on the right foot in the morning, even though I don't really follow my plan, but it just feels great to plan out my day and it gives me some mental clarity. So I do that in the mornings. And then I got to making notes for a chapter that I had planned to revise, and I basically just had to transfer notes for this chapter. I chose an easier task this morning because I didn't really feel like making notes from scratch for a big chapter, but this was a short chapter, plus I'd already made notes previously, so I basically was just transferring older notes. And I think there's something so aesthetic about old notes and transferring notes, because it's like you're looking into a younger version of yourself. And before I get to philosophical, let's move on from older selves and philosophy and yeah. So then once that was done, I ticked that off my to-do list, which I now realize that you can't really see. And then I decided on the next chapter that I plan to do, because I finished this off really quick. And I decided to do economics next, even though I'd originally planned a second biology chapter, but then I just didn't feel like doing any more biology for that day. So I chose an eco chapter, and I was basically just referring to my ebook and making notes, basically. And also introducing Al, who you will see a bit later in this video as well. And then at around 8, I went to snack on some banana and prep breakfast, which you now see. It's some pumpkin halwa with peanut butter on top, and coconut powder and pumpkin seeds and cacao nibs, just all the good stuff on top. And yeah, that was a really good breakfast, and I didn't actually end up reading, even though the book is there for aesthetic purposes, because I didn't feel like reading, I guess. Plus I also had to go and have bath, I believe, so I did that, and then I got back to making notes at around 11. And yeah, back to the same eco chapter, basically. It wasn't a super interesting chapter, but it was basically about government motives and stuff. I mean, not government motives, but like the government's aims, I guess. I don't know, motive sounds weird. And then because that chapter was pretty short, I decided to do the next chapter as well, which was about the fiscal policy. And for that chapter, I pretty much again had to transfer old notes because I'd made them in advance. And I was just thanking my younger self for having made notes with this chapter in particular. And I basically transferred those notes. And then I had lunch. I helped prep lunch and then had lunch, and that's why I came at around 2 p.m. back to my desk post lunch, and I basically just finished off that eco chapter. And then I got distracted by the Goodreads newsletter, and I basically got distracted by books. And then I ticked off the eco chapter that I had done, and also added in the other eco chapter that I did. And then I just tried to decide on what I wanted to do next. And I think I finally settled on languages. And if you've watched my earlier video, you'd know that I've been trying to learn some languages. three to be exact, and also French, which I'm learning through school already. So I basically just want to improve my French and try to self-learn French. And yeah, so that makes four languages in total, which is a lot. So I decided to start off with German as of now, and I have actually done German in the past. I mean, not really. I just made a Duolingo account, I guess, and started with like maybe 2 exercises of German. And here you see me doodling, which is another thing that I had hoped to do in the summer vacations but haven't got around to doing yet. And it's a hobby of mine that I haven't really done recently, and I really want to get back into it. And I basically made a little bit of a German journal for my language learning, where I hope to just to record any vocab I learned or any grammar rules or language stuff. And here you see me trying out a German exercise and trying to remember what I remember, even though I clearly did not remember much from my extremely weirded out expressions. Not weirded out, just confused and perplexed and awkward, I guess. So, but I did manage to familiarize myself. I mean, re-familiarize myself with the language. So that was great. And then I decided to do some writing. Well, particularly reviewing a book, and writing the review of the book. Basically, I had hoped to write an article as well, but I didn't really get around to doing that. So I just wrote that review, and it wasn't much. Like, I just wrote maybe 50 words, but I kind of have been in a writing slump, I suppose, and I was hoping to write, as I mentioned before, an article or like an essay kind of about this topic that I was self-studying, just an interesting research topic that I picked up in the summer wiki, but I didn't get around to doing that, as you already saw. So I basically wrote that review, and then I got distracted and I had to go publish that review on my blog. Oh, and by the way, I have a blog now, which I will link down below. I basically post reviews there and stuff. So I did that quickly, and my table is a mess, as you can see. I mean, it's still a mess. So that's why I used the present tense. But it was a mess that time, and yeah, this was the sunset that I could see from. Try to attempt to exercise, and this next part ended up being super funny because I did not realize how the shot would turn out. I was hoping for some aesthetic workout shots, and I ended up with a giant shaking the earth shot. Yeah, that was kind of funny. Not really, but yeah, it was funny, I guess. And then dinner, because I have my dinner super early, because it just makes me feel great, I guess. And yeah, it was pretty aesthetic, I guess. I just put beetroot water in my rice, and had yellow dal, so yeah, and a sabzi. And then I got back to German, even though I could have written that article that I was talking about, but I guess I was procrastinating, and I'm still procrastinating the same article. But I basically started doing German. Oh god. I went back to German, and I was basically making notes for interesting vocab and basic vocab. Basically, I'm still in the starting phase, and I actually also had started Spanish long ago, and I actually progressed a lot in that. But then when I tried to do one exercise, I literally did not understand anything, because it's been a while, but I'm kind of bummed about the fact that I spent a lot of time, so much time learning Spanish, and now I've forgotten everything. And yeah, at around 9 I started to and I cannot remember the word, but I basically, finished up my day. And I ticked off all the things that I had done, and the only things that I hadn't done was writing aforementioned article, and also finding out the meanings of words that I noted down in my new words list, which is getting kind of full. So I just wanted to figure out the definitions and learn about those words, basically, just to improve my vocabulary and stuff. And then I decided to fill out my tracker, just to see how much I'd really accomplished. And I had done everything that I wanted to do, like studying and a little bit of writing, I guess, exercising, and what else is in my tracker? Yep, and I'd also done my language learning, which was great. But I realized that I hadn't done my reading, and so I read like a chapter at night. And honestly, this book is amazing, and I still haven't finished it, but this book is amazing, and reading this at night is an experience. And yeah, I love this book. It's an amazing book, and each chapter leaves you feeling so, I don't know, amazing. Not amazing, but like just having this amazing feeling of, yeah. And here I basically realized that my desk was too chaotic for me to organize at night, so I basically just dumped everything from my side desk onto my main desk until it looked like a good enough mess for me the next morning to clean up. I mean, I left a big mess for me to clean up the next morning. And this was the sunrise the next morning. I know, random, but yeah, that's about it for this video. It was kind of a random vlog, but I just wanted to motivate myself to study and motivate myself to achieve the things that I planned for my summer vacation. So yeah, this was a motivating vlog for me to record, and I hope it was motivating and entertaining for you guys. So yeah, thanks for watching, and stick around for more such videos, and au revoir.